Ba-dum bum bum bum. Slap back, chat Frat. Slap back, chat Frat. Slap back, Charlie Frat. Slap back, Charlie Frat. Slap back.
Hello and welcome back to Slapback Chat Frat. Our guests today are Mr. Butterball, Mr. White,
Good evening.
and Mr. Gunn.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. How's everybody doing? You all alright?
Yeah,
Doing
not
good.
Too bad. Not too bad.
Radiant.
Excellent. Well, me and Joe have just finished doing my wonderful music podcast, The Noise Filter. So we are primed and ready.
No cross promotion.
No cross promotion.
Yeah, where can that be seen? Where
Yeah,
can
this
that
is
be
an
seen?
Facebook and noisefilter.com. It's not on noisefilter.com. I dream of having a .com.
Oh,
If
is
you
there
want-
is there a noisefilter.com?
Oh,
No,
I
but
bet
if you-
some of the fucking muggers nicked it.
If you walk past Dan's
gonna
house,
check it out.
he does play episodes loudly out the window, so that's the best way to catch him.
Yeah, if you're in the close vicinity,
If you, 40 feet of the house, you can got a pristine audio.
radio filter, noise filter.
As niche as podcasts get.
Yeah.
Everyone
I mean, that-
outside of that is not in.
I like the idea of having a kind of untechy podcast, which is basically just shouting out the window, like interviewing people out of a window.
How are you doing today? I'm alright, fuck off.
Oh, Dan, your domain is totally for sale.
Is it? Oh my god.
Noisefilter.com. It doesn't say how much. You have to call somebody in America.
Well, currently,
Well, money is no object
Yeah.
in this case, Dan.
Currently, I'm on negative loads of pounds, so as long as it's not any more than that, then that'll be fine.
Can you put a price on something that might be quite expensive? No.
I'll get hold of Mr. HSBC and be like, now listen up. Can you
I've
put
got
a
a
price?
business pitch for you.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm gonna make all the money.
I'm not going to oversell it because you probably know the podcast.
Yeah. You
You're a
probably
listener,
heard it,
sure.
yeah.
You've heard a few episodes. I dare say you listened on your commute to work. So why
Fan,
don't
no
you?
doubt.
If you if you want to hear more of these, you better stump up, buddy.
Yeah. I will sign any number of things for you.
Yeah.
Up to 5.
I don't want to strong arm you, but if you don't give me the money for this domain name, I'm gonna quit the podcast.
No. Yeah. He might
think-
make
I
up
think-
one of the 10 people that have watched the collective episodes of Dan Reed's podcast history.
Have we got a Kickstarter, Dan?
If we haven't, why haven't we?
I don't know. It feels like an admin oversight.
Who is in
Feels like
charge
we
of who is in charge of all this?
Can
admin?
we get a Kickstarter for Slapback?
I
That'd
don't
be
imagine
fantastic.
And what would we spend the money on?
porn.
Holidays. Can we?
You
We
can
could
say-
Well, that's
We
because
could-
that's content, isn't
Yeah.
it? The more we
Well,
do,
We
the
could
more
broadcast
we bring.
from the holiday. Well, we need stories. That's the thing.
I tell you
do
what,
need
we
stories.
are-
It's a storytelling show.
Stories are the fuel,
Yeah,
and this podcast is our fire.
yeah.
But we can't make fire without fuel, and that's the strapline.
That's down
We're
to
just
you,
four,
the
we're just
watcher.
4 logs. We're just 4 redundant logs.
Waiting for a spark,
Yeah.
and a holiday to Lanzarote might just be, might just provide the spark.
I imagine, you know, the advert for Africa. You know, when they do like the starving children and the flies and all of that stuff and the music.
Is that a holiday advert?
I'm not sure where you're going with this one.
Come
That's
to
our
Africa.
Next, yeah, that's our next holiday. But you know that kind of like that idea. I imagine that, and then just us, and just like these 4 boys only need £50,000 each, and they could also enjoy a holiday. They look like they need a holiday. Let them go on holiday, and then we'll write. Then they'll tell you about it on their podcast.
And you can listen to them talk about the holiday.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it'd be quite good to go to like an Ibiza kind
Yeah.
of venue.
Well,
This
when
reminds me of a game show that I came up with a little while ago.
Is it called Slapback Goes on Holiday?
It's similar to that, but what you do is you it prizes a holiday, and to enter it, it's based on social media, so it's people who've got like the most followers and the most likes, and then you do some sort of game, you win the holiday, but then the catch is you can't post anything about the holiday on any of your channels. You have to act as if it never happened.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that
Secret holiday. Channel 4.
secret holiday.
And where does the entertainment come in?
The entertainment. I didn't say it was entertaining. It's just
Holiday.
It's a moral,
Is it like
moral
the people
conundrum.
looking at their phone going,
Oh, what's
this
happened?"
is such an Instagrammable moment.
Smash.
It's more of, I'll tell you what it's more of. It's more of a 15-minute Radio 4 extra podcast.
You're a Radio 4 guy.
This is a radio show,
I would
but the
love
idea is the
'Cause,
moral
yeah.
haze.
Because
good is
people
radio
going on
for
holiday
holiday?
in people
Those
going
things.
on holiday in visual places is for,
Classic
That's for
radio,
radio.
content. Yeah. Here I am in Australia.
it's not enough audio
Listen.
travel logs. Yeah, listen to that beauty.
Don't you
my
think?
God.
So I think that's got legs, and then you can't mention it anywhere. You can't even mention it. That's
No,
it.
nothing. Not at all.
Not on the radio.
Not even on the radio.
If they try and talk about it, shut up.
It would be called If a Tree Falls in the Woods.
Catchy title
Yeah.
because it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, I like it.
It's- no one's going to be. People will be like, if a tree fall, yeah. On a holiday program where they don't talk about it. I don't need to listen to it. I completely get it from the title.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
be like, you have subscribed. And then people say, yeah, the latest episode of Treefall. People will be going, yeah, man. Oh, they went to... Don't know where they went.
They went to-
no idea. Didn't talk about it
Yeah.
as per the remit of the show.
Welcome to a tree fell.
Do you think that's good?
Yeah, I love
I think
it.
it's great. I think it's really good.
Yeah. 16 youngsters
Go on holiday.
go on holiday, but
a lot of scope to kind of have some hot takes on social media and the commodification of our everyday lives as well.
Yeah.
Because think about it, when you went on holiday before your phone, did you really go on holiday?
I mean,
No.
if you can't
Really?
put some nice pictures up on Facebook,
What's the
actually,
point?
are all the young the kids aren't on Facebook anyway, are they?
No, they're
What are they
on
on now?
Instaface,
The Instaface now.
Yeah.
Gram-
Flash Jam.
Grambook.
Oh,
Ketamine.
Yeah, they're all racking up Grambook.
well, apparently, I was reading the other day. Lots of young people are teetotal now. There's a big trend in being.
Oh, children
course
today
they are,
are
Grandad.
ruining everything.
I know they are.
Can't even get
They are
alcohol
ruining
right.
it. No, I mean,
Get alcohol right. That's the basis of all youth.
I would say
Well-
70% of the best times from my younger days were either because I was too
Smashed.
wasted or someone else was.
Yeah, classic
I mean,
times.
In fact, one of the best times from my younger life, I wasn't even there.
That was
I
my
just
favourite
heard
of your
about
time.
it.
That was my favourite of your times as well.
That was the best time.
Yeah.
You've never been at something.
It
You
is.
added so much. I
was
would
the
say if you
highlight of
could
our
do that at
friendship.
more events, I think they would go so much more smoothly and they'd be so much more memorable for you.
and I would enjoy them more as well.
Yeah.
But can I tell you what the best time that I've never been at is?
Yeah, that's
It's
about
where-
the best time you never had.
Yeah, it's where you went to a party and you, Ollie, and Rob, and I for some reason couldn't go, and it's where
Who,
Rob took
me?
way. Yeah, you, Barnett. Rob took way too much MDMA and started rubbing his groin and like he just became a monster. He was drinking out of the toilet and molesting people.
That was the
and-
best time.
like a dog. He
That was
sort
the
of-
best
he was
time I
licking
wasn't there
Ollie's
as
leg.
well.
Yeah, I remember it. I've never wanted to have seen something so badly that I didn't see.
He was taking his clothes off. He was doing this sort of action. Really doing that, and then sort of going. That was happening a lot, and grunting, and a lot of groin touching as well. His own and other people's. Very
Magical time. That was
magical night.
It was the worst christening I've ever been to.
The best best funeral ever. Yeah.
Yeah, he was on that. He was on that trip for many hours as well. This was not a limited amount of time. It was extensive.
All he was doing really was just cutting loose of all of his shackles.
His true self. You know, why have all these inhibitions when you can just
Rub your
bark
cock.
like a dog and lick people?
Take off your clothes.
Take your clothes off
Rub your nubbin.
and have a great time.
Well,
So that was fun.
so talking about the content, talking about how holidays fuel our slapback, I went on holiday. Hooray! I did a holiday.
Right.
Seamless link.
Boom. Well, you've seen how it works on the noise filter, Joe. Much like on the noise filter, that's how I like to get in. Well, I went to Amsterdam.
Where did you go?
Thank you, Russ. I went to Amsterdam for my holiday with my girlfriend for her 30th birthday, and we had a lovely time, and we saw some sights, and we frequented some coffee shops, and did all the nice things of Amsterdam. We saw lots of prostitutes and walked around, and it was good. It was very good. However, on the last night, we went back to we'd gone through like some of the roughest parts of Amsterdam, some of the like most, I don't know how to describe it really, some of the places that you would probably not want to go through. We went through all of it, and then on the last night we decided we'd have a nice restful visit to a coffee shop that we'd been to, which was really nice. It was called the Bulldog, and the original Bulldog, and seats are at a premium, so we went and sat. I asked this gentleman, I said, is it cool if we sit here? And obviously everyone's very multinational, so you know, limited understanding, but I did the sign, can we sit here, these two seats? And he went, yes. And then as we sat down, another group got up and left, so we were left with this guy. And so Beth went off to go to the toilet and left me one-on-one with this guy, and he
Disaster.
yeah, bad times. And it transpired he was a troublesome fellow, and he pointed at something on the menu and then went like this, and he was like trying to get me to buy him some stuff on the menu, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy you anything on the menu. It's my last night, I'm very poor, I got no money, I'm not buying you anything on the menu. And he proceeded to do that for about half an hour, and then he escalated to the point where he was like eyeballing me, staring at me hard, and like psychologically like fucking me, mind fucking me. It was like, I've never. Have you ever been like bullied without words? It was amazing. It's like the craziest experience I've ever had. And eventually, it got to the point where I'd like got myself in such a mind fuck that I was like, we have to go. I can't stay here with this guy. He's like just completely like in my head. He's just freaking me out.
Was he just staring at the whole time?
Yeah, he was staring at me. He was like prodding Beth. He was like just hysterically laughing at us. He'd obviously done mushrooms or something. He was drinking from a bottle of like, he was in a pub. He's in like a coffee shop. And he's got a hidden bottle of like whiskey, which he's drinking out of secretly, and then downing Fanta to like like the old cocktail of whiskey Fanta.
My question is, what was he pointing to on the menu? What did he want?
He wanted like Fanta or something. He wanted like some soft drink. But I was like, I'm not gonna. And then he like stole a spliff out of the ashtray from a group of people that were next to us, and then he just was like, he was a right knobhead.
Sounds like a bit of a ragamuffin.
He was a right ragamuffin, Russ.
It sounds like he wasn't living by anyone else's rules, though.
No.
Sounds like a bit of a freewheeling, character.
Free spirit,
But this went on for like an hour, maybe longer. This like torment. He like, I'm not really doing it justice, but he was like, he would not accept. No, he just wouldn't accept. He wouldn't leave me alone. Whatever I did.
Do you think the issue was that he was absolutely fucked, or do you think he was just a twat who was also fucked?
Oh yeah, it was both. It was a bit of he was a twat that was just fucked. But I assume what actually was happening was he was a homeless guy who was like hiding in this coffee shop for warmth, which is fair enough. But because when we went to leave, he was like, "Stay, don't go, stay." Suddenly he could speak English. All this time prior to this, he was like just nonsense at me, and he was calling us cheeseburger, And he was just like, he was fucking, honestly, he was the,
Wow.
yeah, he was.
What?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's one way to look at it. But from what I'm hearing, we've got a
Maverick.
gentleman
Yeah.
here. You could call him a maverick.
Yeah.
In this establishment, he's very canny because he's got his own. He knows that the drinks are charged at a certain rate. He's thought, I can get these drinks elsewhere for a lower price. Sort of, you know, it's quite a high level of business acumen there.
Mhm.
And so he's got the drinks at a cheaper price, and he's enjoying them. And then what did you say, Dan? You said he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, so he kept on like, I would try and have a conversation with Beth, and he wouldn't let me have a conversation with Beth. He spent all of his time like clicking in my face, like just constantly doing stuff to like try and get my attention. And then whenever I'd give him any attention, it wouldn't satisfy him. No matter what I would do, no matter what I would say to him, he was just like unsatisfiable.
So he wouldn't take no for an answer, and he couldn't be satisfied. Now, again, in the world of business, these are two
Powerful
CEO-style qualities.
Yeah. Do you
I'm
think-
just wondering, was this guy perhaps the owner of the entire establishment,
Maybe.
undercover,
yeah, in his own.
and he was just exhibiting some of his natural flair for business? I mean, it was confused and misinterpreted,
Maybe.
possibly.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. If you'd have reacted right, he would have said, "And now you own the coffee
Yeah.
shop."
Yeah, that could have been it.
It got to the
It's one
point.
of those undercover
He-
boss scenarios.
Yeah, he was Willy Wonkering you, but
Oh
you
my
didn't.
God.
You didn't
All I
pick
needed
it
to
up.
do was just buy him a fucking drink.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so it got to the point where I was like, I felt like I was being bullied, and he was like, prodding Beth. He was like, really like. I felt like I couldn't. There was no like satisfying this guy, so we had to go. And I think I felt a bit bullied, to be honest. And it was a strange feeling as an adult to kind of
Yeah.
get, because like I don't want to get in a fight. The last thing I want to do is get in a fight. I don't want to be. I'm no Dave White slappy.
Haven't got Dave's
And also, I only
lethal
had,
slap
also,
capabilities.
I only had Beth as my backup, so I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm not in my best. I don't
Yeah.
have no Steve McArthur.
I mean, once he goes through that human shield, he's onto the soft meat, isn't he? Of you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was
She can only withstand so many
much beating.
punches.
I definitely was the soft meat. But yeah, we had to leave, and that was
That's horrible, though.
I was
It is really
bullied.
strange when
You adult bullied. Yeah, it's odd. Isn't it?
you're like, oh, does this happen?
I'm
now?
too big for this.
Yeah, but also I'm too scared to do anything about it.
I'm too much of a pacifist. Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
still just as scared as I was when bullying was
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a thing when it was John Davis' stag do, and we got back to like a Premier Inn or some analogous place like that, like at about 4.
Holiday Inn?
Yeah,
One of them.
don't keep naming them, but but one of those ones. And we got back at about 4 a.m. or something like that. It was really late, and the
3:50?
the kind of people you get, because the bar stays open there, so the kind of people you get, like, and the bar stays open a long time past where other normal, like, actual proper drinking establishments would stay open.
Yeah.
So the kind of people you get at a Premier Inn or wherever, Travelodge, blah blah blah, at 4 or 5 a.m. is a really fucking weird ragtag kind of bag
Yeah.
of people.
high
And,
level of business acumen, no doubt.
Yeah,
That's where all the deals happen.
it's a really weird, and basically everyone's completely hammered, so everyone just ends up sitting together, and so we got back and most people had gone to sleep. So there's about maybe 3 or 4 of us from the stag party up, and there were these 2 guys who'd been in prison, who just got out of prison, and we were with them, and then some girls that they didn't know who were just like, Ewan was trying to sleep with them, and when at about 4 a.m, when he realized it wasn't going to work, he just stood up and went
Bye.
he did the brilliant thing of just saying, well, you 2 are obviously not going to sleep with me, so I'm going to get some chicken, and walk. Such a good way of exiting. But anyway, yeah, one of these guys from prison, we're not the, we're not, our group of friends are not rough stuff.
No.
We're not, big burly men. We're not proper men.
Beta males, aren't we?
Yeah, very, very. But beta, soy boy beta cucks, I think they call us. But so one of them started saying to me something like,
"You want
I
some?
bet you're a virgin." And I was like,
"Ooh, got your number."
I know.
I'm actually married, thank you very much.
Yeah, but it was really weird. Yeah, where they both were like, "Bet you haven't had sex, mate." And then the girls were like going, leave him alone, And I was like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah.
It was like
they could pick on you
they picked the one true one. Yeah.
And there's
of course, with them having just come out of prison, there's a pretty obvious, albeit daring, retort to virginity.
Yeah, but you'd see, a braver man than I would have gone down that road.
Yeah.
But it was really weird. It was like, oh my god, it's like being 11 again, and you're caught between either having a really good comeback.
You for being a virgin when you're 11.
Well, you know what I mean, or like or 13 or 14 or whatever. But it's that thing of like, I found myself wanting to be like, I've had sex loads of times.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
no,
you, mate.
don't do that. Yeah, well, actually, I'll have
10 times.
Yeah, I'm in double figures.
And one of them was your mum.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really like you don't really know what to do in that situation where you're like, oh, as an adult, someone's just been an absolute bellend, and have either of Russ and Dave, have either of you been in a situation where you've been adult bullied?
Adult bullying. Hashtag adult bullied. No shame, Russ. Safe space.
Right. or Russ, if you've done the adult bullying.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's.
I've been in a situation where I said something very, very stupid to somebody clearly a lot more alpha than me. Unfortunately, when I'm on the football pitch, I am the definition of mouth right in checks, body can't cash. And we were playing against a team from a pretty rough part of Cardiff, and I'm a goalkeeper, as you know, letting a goal, to which their striker, who was big chap, said to me, quite rightly actually, "Oh, you made a mistake there, didn't you, keeper?" And I just said, really, without even thinking about it, "Your mother made a mistake when she had you."
Zing.
To which
straight to the mother.
Yeah.
Route
Boom.
one.
Yeah.
Boomtown.
I've never actually seen steam come out of someone's ears before, but it was like straight out of a Tom and Jerry cartoon. And yeah, fortunately, by the time he got to me, my teammates had got in the way, and I did the old kind of, hold me back. No, seriously, hold me back,
But
please.
seriously,
hold me back.
just
Keep him away.
Any force it.
I wasn't pushing very hard. But yeah, adult bullying, it's it happens.
I think it. I tell you what happens for me is or it's attempted in like some work situations. People will be drinking and they'll be getting drunk, and it'll be like, "Go on, have another drink. Have another drink. You go on, we're on it." And
I'm all right.
I think, yeah, and I say no, and it's not accepted. And it's you do. I think adult peer pressure can slip into bullying if you are if you're not willing to stay in your position. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. But then, like, equally, I will do that to Chris Stoneman whenever I see him and I'm out drinking. So
but he's got it coming. You've got it.
Yeah. Can't think of anyone more deserving.
Yeah, you've got to give him some shit.
That's very nice.
As a matter of principle, whenever you see him, you've just got to bully
Oi,
him
Stoneman,
somehow.
fucking drink it, you pussy.
Yeah, even if he's happily drinking. More! Double pint!
Oh, Bizzic, drink more, you prick. Yeah, bless him. My favourite Chris Stoneman memory is, I can't remember what he's called, the guy coming in and grabbing the shotty, turning it over. What was that guy called?
Where's Pasco?
Where's Pasco came in. We're all at Chris Stoneman's house, and there's a shotty on the floor, and it's like a little
big party, student party.
Yeah.
You know, think Skins, but like
think
even,
Skins, but badass.
even rawer. You know,
Yeah,
Skins
badass.
late night
Very
Skins.
beta.
Yeah. And this guy, Where's Pasco, came in, and he grabbed the bong, and he looked at it, and he kind of went, "What is this?" And then he just this thing filled with water, just like ticked it up
disgusting bong water as well, like brown,
and
horrible.
just turned
bong
it
water.
upside down, just poured it out, and was like, "Oh."
I just love the
pure
thought
confusion.
process of like someone who's like,
What is this?
There's some liquid in that, but
What is this?
What happens if I just go like that? He just poured it all over his bedroom floor. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was good. That's my favourite Chris Stoneman memory.
I
I've got
unintentionally
Chris Stoneman.
adult bullied someone once when the question came up at work, why is the sea salty? And as a joke, I said it's because of whale ejaculate.
Yeah.
And this woman was like, "Oh, that's really
cool.
all right. That's really interesting." And then she passed it off as her own, you know. And I didn't have the heart to say. And then everyone laughed at her, you know. And then she was like, "Why did you tell me that?" And I was like, "It was a joke, but you didn't get it." And then I did. And then I felt too guilty, you know. I didn't want to make you feel bad, so I didn't tell you it was a joke. But then you passed off the fact as your own in another situation at work, and everyone was like, "No, it's not.
You're an idiot."
Sea's not salty because whales come in it. And she was like, "That's what you told me." I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to mislead you. I just felt too bad I was trying to avoid your embarrassment, but you've gone and told them."
I once told my old housemate Cassie that there are cats called aqua cats, and they get summoned to the sea.
I love this.
They're like you know, like how catnip is like they like drawn to catnip, right? Like a whale will turn over, and its cock will like breach the water, and then the cats will come out, and they have a symbiotic relationship with the whale, and they like the smegma that the whales.
Oh,
You really got into this one, didn't you?
This is one of those things that comes out at about 4 in the morning when you're really hammered and I just started telling this story, and she was lapping it up. It was like she could not have had. And I was like, they swim out all the way out to sea, and then they go and numb this whale smegma up.
Well, I think we're slipping into a different category of kind of.
We've turned being bullied.
Well, what we're drifting into here is the sort of long ball lie, as I like to call them.
Yeah.
You just sow those seeds at a very innocent and a believable point, and then 3 to 6 months later, they bloom brilliantly in front of some other friends and that kind of thing. And certainly, I'm sowing those seeds on a weekly basis.
That's all you do, isn't it?
We had a friendship with a girl called Annette, and that friendship was entirely or 80% based on telling her lies. And I don't get me wrong, I really like Annette.
She's lovely.
I assume so. I haven't spoken to her in a long time. But that friendship was so based on.
Tell about the mirror.
The remaining
long ball lie. I think.
Just telling her things that weren't true, and then taking delight. I mean, it's not nice, but taking delight in her believing them. So that they consisted of in a very truncated form. There's no such thing as mirrors. That was one of the big ones.
That's one of my favourite.
There was another one about there's a fossil of this moment.
Oh yeah, there's a fossil of every moment.
There's a fossil, so if you dig down, we're going to be there at this moment. It's like
in 100 years' time, if you dig down, you'll find a fossil of this moment.
Yeah, that was another one.
That was good.
One of my favourites was that there was a dog in Mexico, a wolf man called Juan Fernando Mendez, who was a lawyer, who was a wolf man dog that could speak, covered entirely in hair, but not human. But he was He was the first
lawyer.
he was the first non-human to be a practicing lawyer.
Juan Pablo Mendez.
Juan Pablo Mendez, yeah.
Was that just in Mexico or was that worldwide?
That's worldwide, yeah. Not just the first Mexican non-human lawyer. But
that's an enjoyable lie, I think. Like,
yeah.
To tell such an elaborate lie. I quite liked as well. There were a number of parties where where we might go to, and I would tell a number of people that I was Tony Hart's son. That
it's such a low level lie. Yeah, it's a lie that
people were coming up to me and saying,
"I love your dad."
Is he really Tony Hart's son?
And it's such that's the perfect lie because you're not going so big. You're not saying like I'm Macca's son, you know, or I'm Bob Dylan. You know, Bob Dylan's my uncle. You're picking a level of celebrity that's absolutely believable. Like you could say like, you know, Neil Buchanan is my godfather.
Yes.
Or I used to get guitar lessons from the lead guitarist from Cast. Something like.
I've got an actual real one of those, and I don't totally remember it, but Beth knows somebody. I think that Beth knows somebody who is the baby from Willow, and they are now the owner of Aldi's. They're like a boss at Aldi's or some supermarket. I've got the facts of that story wrong, but the gist of that story. I wish I was.
Making a fool out of us.
I wish I was. But that is a genuine. That is one of those genuine Yeah. I need to get the facts off Beth because that's not exactly accurate. But it's something like the baby from Willow is now somehow friends with, or Beth knows her, or someone knows them, or she's gonna be like, why didn't you tell the story right? But that's the gist of it. Willow baby.
I love those kind of low level brags where it's like, this is not impressive, but it's semi. Like my friend Catherine, her uncle was the original Mr. Blobby.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome.
Take that.
Yeah. Take that. Wasn't there a girl we all know who worked at Mr. Blobbyland in Doubles? I think it's Laura.
I think quite a few people we know worked at Mr. Blobbyland in Doubles because
did they work as Mr. Blobby though?
Actually in the costume.
Yeah.
No, because
that was him.
There's actually that was the real Mr. Blobby. It's not like
there
one
is
of
no
those
costume. It is just
shopping centre Santa Clauses. They just got the real guy there for that. You know, the real Blobby.
Yeah.
But that's where they built.
She was an animal. She wore an animal costume.
Right.
I'm not sure which animal it was,
but also the Mr. Blobbyland that they built at Doubles. That was because for many years, he was moved on from place to place. So that was kind of like his Israel. So it was like, okay, here's a safe place. This is your land now, Blobby. Yeah. You can just be who you want to be
just
here.
Be free.
And no one's going to persecute you here. This is Blobbyland.
Yeah.
But classic, you know, he started expanding into other bits of Cornwall, didn't he?
Yeah, he's greedy.
Same votes, yeah.
Do you know, Mr. Blobby's the only artist to have a Christmas #1, an eponymous Christmas #1 single. So the song was called Mr. Blobby by Mr. Blobby.
Yeah.
Only guy.
Only guy.
All women could do that.
There's not actually can't be that many eponymous singles, is there?
Christmas #1. Christmas
I think,
#1 single.
I think Mick Hucknall got to number 30 with Mick Hucknall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a strong B-side. Great lyrics as well, describing his daily routine.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning.
Martine McCutcheon was sick in his dreadlocks, and that's why he had to cut them off.
Is that true?
True fact about Mick Hucknall, yeah.
I like it.
You can have that for free.
Have that one in the bank.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, we ran out of steam.
No, I was just sat thinking about it. I just for a second I was like, oh yeah.
It's the opposite of you. It's the opposite of you. You know, you get a frog, you put it in a pan of hot water, and then you increase the temperature, and then you boil it, and it doesn't actually realise. What just happened there was the opposite of that. You put it into a warm bath, which is me, or which was you guys coming in, you know, claiming you're so hot. You're in a warm bath, and then you leave that warm bath for 30 minutes, and you just realise, I'm sat in stale water, cold water. And that moment was the realisation.
All you have to do is drop a Mick Hucknall fact into the conversation.
You see the situation for what it really is.
Yeah.
think, I'd like to see the Mick Hucknall fact brought back. If there's any more facts, maybe next month we could have another Hucknall fact.
That would be a good one to do. I suppose we've got to get onto Paul McCartney news, don't we? I mean, if we
Yeah.
Well, just
Well,
before...
Joe, do you want to kick us off this month with the latest Paul McCartney news? Because I know from what I've heard, my tendrils have been out there and they've been tingling, absolutely tingling, because there's been some quite big stories popping off the news chart. So I don't know, which one do you want to kick off with? It's up to you.
I'm going to kick off with a tangential Paul McCartney story, which is that Paul McCartney's wife, Nancy Chevelle, her father's trucking business has just filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, not even with Macca money involved.
No, but I think they needed about 90 million, and I know he's got it, but you know.
Sorry, love. Ain't got another Hey Jude coming.
So what can I do? You know, yeah, he's a good time guy. If you want a thumbs up, he'll give it to you.
You want 90 million save your business?
Wings.
Of course, this month recently, Paul McCartney received his Blue Peter badge, which I'm sure you guys have all seen in the news.
Yeah.
So he's now got free access to all theme parks across the country, including wherever Mr. Blobby is now currently residing. Has Blobbyland got a new home, or is it still?
No, it's still it's shrunk down a lot, but it's still in Cornwall. It's just him on a piece of
on a roundabout
waste ground with a kind of with barbed wire around it, and he's manning a machine gun turret. But he's still there.
The war's over, Blobby. The war's over.
Yeah. You lost.
Just so you know, McCartney was not given any old Blue Peter badge. He was given a gold badge.
Oh.
And these are the programme's highest award, given out rarely, typically for bravery or services to society, and those considered role models to young people. And the previous winners have included Ed Sheeran, J.K. Rowling, Prince William, the Duchess of Cambridge, the Queen, and David Attenborough. So this is a pretty select group of royals and hitmakers that Macca is now.
Ed Sheeran.
Do you know how much
and Ed Sheeran.
Do you know how much a gold Blue Peter badge is going on eBay for?
How much?
Oh, have a guess. What do you reckon? Gold Blue Peter badge.
10
Only
monkeys?
all those people. Paul
I'm going to go
Ed
a grand. I'm going to go
grand?
a grand.
10 grand.
10 grand. These fucking Paul McCartney's one of the people who's got this. Come on, guys. Don't cheap out.
What? £20,000.
I am looking at a gold 50th Blue Peter badge, new in wrapper, the best on eBay, for the sum total of £10
What?
Blimey.
Wow.
Blue Peter ain't worth the.
But that's
Gold
access to
low.
all the theme parks.
Although
Webnet,
that
all
might,
Webnet.
no. But here's the thing.
Or there's another
That
one
might
here
be.
for £1,000. So who knows? If we can see that.
I would speculate that one that's there for £10
Is
is
fake.
probably Paul McCartney popping his own badge on, because recently he was asked the price of a bottle of whiskey and he thought that it cost £2. So
Did he really?
He did. Yeah. McCartney's living in the 1960s of prices, so for him, £10 for a Blue Peter badge, he's thinking, this is
Fucking hell, that's like 5 bottles of whiskey there.
bottles of whiskey.
Think of all
I
the
love
whiskey I
fact
can
that,
buy.
like, he can be that out of touch, because he's not like the Queen, where he doesn't carry money around, and he's like, presumably he does go shopping, doesn't he?
Do you reckon he just goes up and starts like bringing stuff to the checkout, and he's like, I suspect this will be enough currency for you?
Yeah. Here's 10 shillings.
Yeah.
That should cover the lot.
Nah. Come on, Macca, out you go. Fuck off.
So there we go. So that wraps up Paul McCartney news for this month.
He's
Big month.
One more thing. He's going to be
go on.
an author.
We've got time.
He's making a children's book called Hey Granddude.
Oh, that's
Hey,
nice.
Dude, fantastic.
There's a film coming out, and it's called Yesterday, and it's about
Yeah, I've seen this.
yeah,
the
it's really
trailer,
good.
yeah.
It's about a guy that like is involved in a car crash, and when he wakes up, all the world has forgotten about the Beatles, and he then goes and writes all these Beatles songs, and he starts playing them to people and goes,
Isn't that the theme? Isn't that the plot to Goodnight Sweetheart, starring Nicholas Lyndhurst?
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah, because the Beatles just haven't existed yet in that show.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes.
he sits down at the piano and plays, When I'm 64, and people
does, yeah.
say
You're
humorous
genius.
things like, well, no, like, oh, it's not bad, and he goes,
It's never going to be a big hit, but
Yeah.
don't
I'm
get a day
Nicholas
job.
Lyndhurst.
yeah, but yeah, so he wakes up and in a kind of alternate reality where everything is exactly the same, only the Beatles never existed, and he's the only one who remembers all their songs, and he becomes. So it's written by Richard Curtis of Notting Hill and Love Actually and Four Weddings fame, and directed by Danny Boyle.
Okay.
Yesterday or Goodnight
Yesterday.
Sweetheart.
Yeah, but both. I think. It's a sequel.
Bumper production for that sitcom.
They're going to
We've got
play.
Sigourney Weaver playing one of the extras.
Sigourney Weaver's playing Nicholas Lyndhurst. But yeah, so it's got some pedigree to it, and
right.
I think it'll.
I think that's going to be big. I think that'll be a big
I'm
film.
up for it.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
It's
That's good.
Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie,
Yeah.
we had a budget of £50 million, and as you probably know, the director was accused of various
Nasty stuff. Yeah, Brian Singer.
nasty stuff, and he's been pulled out of he was pulled out of the operation. Dexter Fletcher from Press Gang took over.
Yeah.
And also Sacha Baron Cohen was meant to play the role. The film's been in gestation for a long time. Very tricky production, but eventually they made it. That film is just about to gross $1 billion.
Wow.
Christ.
So you get yourself on that Beatles gravy train.
Yeah, that's big.
And they know what they're up to. That's
Big bucks.
gonna be lovely.
We have amongst us a person who has also just released something that we can all get on the gravy train. What's the slapback cut of your Digsby project, Mr. Joe?
How much am I donating to Slapback?
Well, how much? What's our writing credits on it? What do we?
Is
Well,
this
let's-
another advert? Is this another
This is
advert?
another advert.
Right.
Welcome to Slapback Chat, Frat. As sponsored.
Do you
by...
like strawberries? Eat
Have you got
strawberries.
ears?
Yeah. Do you shit yourself?
Well, I don't know how much I get for anything yet, because I put it on Amazon and Spotify. You get presume I'm going to have a word with Chris Stoneman.
All good
Because,
retailers.
You
yeah,
get a
I'm
bigger
not.
Cut.
I'm
Well,
not. Yeah.
The thing is, we're not worried so much about
Yeah.
the residuals that are coming in. We're more interested in
What's our
how the
little-
pie's been split at the root. So for the four of us,
Yep.
I'm presuming
Quarters.
it's gone 30, 25, 20, 20.
Well,
But you're the one doing the
Russ,
maths. So you tell me. how it's been split.
I was going to ask if I could get some business advice from you, Russ, because I need that
Yeah.
acumen. I need that quick fire business acumen. I mean, all I'll say is, with the inevitable number one that's coming,
Yeah.
I'll
It'll all be sorted out.
Yeah.
you're gonna be so sorted.
taking
You
care
don't
of
need to
it.
give us the numbers, but you
No.
can just tell us
It's all good.
for a fact
You
we
won't.
will
I
not
can-
need to pay our mortgages or rent or any
Yeah.
living.
Well, I
subsistence.
can't say that you won't need to work again, but I will say that you will not work again.
That's a sort of guarantee I need.
Could it be split? Could it be split like in terms of need? So, Dave, you have a mortgage. Russ, you're on your mortgage. You, Joe, on your own mortgage. I am renting from my
Exactly,
mum,
so
from my
we need
mum.
the money for our mortgages.
Quick, right?
So
Whereas you don't move wherever you want. You're like a free bird. You can go, you can couch surf, whatever it is. Go around Europe.
Yeah.
Us 3 months stuck.
fucking
Yeah.
great.
Dead.
That's all worked out in my favour, doesn't it?
Free as a bird.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you're all welcome. Get on my gravy train. Anytime you guys want to sleep on this sofa here or here, you can stay for a night, for sure. Only one.
Yeah. So how much are you gonna give us then for being free?
Well, whatever you need. Top all the money. All the
Yeah.
money. I'm currently I'm in negative money at the minute, but
Ooh.
What you want to do is open another bank account and get into negative money with that, because then you'll be in positive if you put the two finances together.
That's
I
how it
believe.
works, isn't it?
I don't remember much about primary school maths, but I believe that to be the case.
I think that's how it works. So, for those of you that don't know, Joe has released an EP under the name Digsby Started. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, or you would like to have a listen to it, find it on all the available places. Mr. Joe Butterball, or you're not called Mr. Butterball for this, but you don't need to worry about that.
It's a true story. I was listening to it this morning.
Were you, Russell?
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, it's
I've listened to it.
There was an error on the Spotify. Got rid of that, and then I put on some David Lee Roth as per normal. But it cropped up. So the algorithm's working. It's popping up.
I did this.
Is it?
I
Wow.
did this the other day. I said, Alexa, play Digsby Started, and lo and behold, on it came.
Yeah, you can do that.
Wow.
You can
How
fix
good
that,
is
Dan.
that?
You
You're
can
in the
fix
algorithm.
that. It won't always do that. There's a way to get around it.
You just have to ask for something else.
I said, play
Anything
El
but
Majestico, Dirty
Digsby.
Little Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the real tragedy here, is that Elmer. Now it's so easy, right, to put something out there and it's there. I think I paid, a nominal fee to this company called DistroKid that then put it on Amazon and Spotify and all that stuff. So that so my bullshit's out there, whereas all the El Majestico gems lost in
up.
the ether.
Well, you say
actually,
that, but now that we've found
I've
a
still
route
got my
to
CD.
Exactly. Well, there's two ways to look at this. One is that those people who've purchased the CD are in a rare and rarefied club.
But that isn't all the music we made, though, is it, Russ? We made hundreds of songs,
You really did.
hundreds of bullshit.
I got King's
I mean-
Men.
What you could say for us is that we churned it out. We absolutely churned out those sausages full of
Pumped
excrement.
Pumped
It was
them
the
out.
Shit
not
sausages.
quality approach to it,
Yes,
basically.
yeah.
But
Fingers
what
in many
I'm saying to
pies.
you is, now that we've got you, Joe, as the distribution network,
Distro
you could
Joe.
pop in a couple more nominal fees. It's just nominal, so it doesn't really matter, and pump that stuff out there. And
I
then
don't have the El Majestico songs.
What I
though.
will say is,
You don't have the
me-
rights. No,
I don't have any of
We've
them.
We've got 50-50 split on the rights. We can get you in on that. And
Do you actually own any of the music, though, Russ?
I think I own all of it, don't I?
No, but do you have it? Can you, if you wanted to listen to
Oh.
a deep cut right now, if you wanted to listen to one of the songs that, I don't know, never got.
Could I access one of them right now?
Could you access
No.
any
No,
El
it's
Majestico music?
No, because I have a hard drive. I feel we're going down a cul-de-sac here. I have a hard drive which I could plug in and access one of those tracks. Yes.
I'm
One-
going on location.
I'm not going to, but I think I could.
Oh no, I'm not asking you to. It's just I don't. I.
Oh, skip this one. It's shit.
I got
Yeah,
it on my
that-
phone, mate. I got it
that-
on my
that's the-
phone right now.
That's the album cuts you got there.
Yeah,
Dan.
but that's the remixed version of it. I think, isn't it?
That's the album.
That sounded like the album cut to me.
That is the album.
No, it's like. Can you play it again?
Oh my god.
Can't get enough of it.
This is the
I-
album.
Are you sure? That sounded like it had been remixed or like.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah.
I got King's Men on here.
Oh, that note never made an album. Yeah, you can get that on Spotify.
I've got the no vocal mix as well. If I ever want to sing along to it.
I think
Found it.
that's for the B-side album.
Here we go.
Oh, look
yeah.
at that cover art.
There you go. I got it on my phone, ready to go. Like all of the archive that I've collected. I got the Russell
Okay.
Garnett. I got the Russell Garnett EP on my computer.
Dan,
got a
you
bit
need
of dust on
you
it.
need to give this to Joe to hit the distribution networks, and then we'll start getting these royalties in. Split them equally 4 ways, as we do with all our stuff.
All of our stuff. Yeah, yeah. Dave even has the CD there. Is he going to press play on the CD player? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Well, there we go. El Majestico.
So that concludes Paul McCartney news.
That was
for
good.
this.
Good Paul McCartney news. And also Joe's EP. So yeah,
And EP news. Yeah.
yeah, check it out. Where are you going to, Dave? What were you up to?
I was getting the CD.
Oh, cool, nice. Well done, Dave. I have bought myself tickets to go and see Ryan Adams at Royal Albert Hall.
Ooh.
Oh, controversial.
Oh,
well, no.
dear.
To be fair, I bought them before.
Did you
After
buy
after you heard.
about the
Yeah. I was like, oh, that sounds like a good ticket to get involved in.
a lot
I'll
of
get
vulnerable
involved.
women at this gig.
I'll
If
be
you
a
can say anything about Dan, is that he's a huge
Supporter,
fan of
yeah.
predatory male harassment.
Yes.
Um,
He is
like,
I
do you remember when you got into Louis C.K.? You're like,
I was
what's
like,
he said?
What's he said?
I'm on
Yeah,
board.
I'm on board. I agree. Yeah.
I'm like, he did what to who?
Brilliant.
You know what that guy said?
Yeah, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Dan likes more than anything is a beta male indie troubadour sex pest.
Yeah.
I think that's proven on many occasions.
There's no questioning that, so that goes without saying. Yeah, so there you go. That's just an interesting little nugget of information. I bought tickets for that.
I think
I
that what
invited
you
you
put
to
on
it, didn't I?
Yeah, but I
Like-
think that your post on Facebook was a little bit insensitive. Where what was it? You posted something like,
I love Ryan Adams. Fuck you all. I don't care what anyone.
no, "Do you love Ryan Adams?" # me too.
Yeah. I didn't post anything of the sort. I am also very sad, and
It is sad. It is. Well, we don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
I heard there are
Probably.
ramifications, repercussions. Something's not getting released. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I bought that album, which is not getting
Ryan
released.
Adams isn't getting released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The
I
sex
currently am
prison.
£115 worth of Ryan Adams stuff that I will not have. I'm hoping I'll get it at some point, but I hope I'll get
I
my money
listened to
back.
an interview with his ex-wife Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
Because she was on Mark Maron's podcast WTF, which
Yeah.
I people listen to.
Which is similar to this, isn't it?
Very similar. I would say lower budget, not as funny.
Bit less content, but yeah.
Less intellectual. Yeah.
Yeah,
Intellectual,
kind
but-
of relies on star guests. whereas
Yeah.
we just
That's,
you know,
I mean,
but-
that's fair enough. I mean, that's an easy answer, isn't it? Having
Yeah.
someone famous come on. Imagine
We
having
could get-
no one famous coming on.
Yeah,
Every
and
single
still-
week.
Yeah.
and still putting something out. Yeah, but she. So this was before the interview was conducted before all of the stuff came out,
Right.
and he was asking her stuff about Ryan Adams, and she was being really.
Cagey?
One, she sounds lovely.
Right.
Big now a big fan of her as a
Big
person.
Mandy Moore.
She sounds lovely.
Yeah.
But two, she wasn't like. Now when you knew about all of that stuff, there was a lot of stuff that she clearly wasn't saying, and you could kind of, with a bit of context of knowing a bit more about what he was like in the relationship, she was clearly stopping herself from talking too much about it. But she would, what she did say was, even if you knew nothing else about the other allegations, it just sounded like a fucking nightmare being with him. It did sound like he was really, well, I think he's just incredibly emotionally insecure, needy, and he just kind of, doesn't sound like a nice person to be with in the relationship at all. But yeah, that is sad. It is sad.
Well, there we go.
Well-
So yeah.
Will the gig happen, Dan, or are there more allegations?
Well-
that perhaps tour will get pulled.
He has. This is an interesting question. So he hasn't. The public. They haven't stopped. The tickets are still available. You can still buy tickets to the next day. I rang up the Royal Albert Hall. They said they're not in charge of what happens, so it's down to the promoter. I don't know what.
When is this gig?
It's
When
like
is it
the
happening?
4th of April, I think.
Okay, well, quite soon.
I haven't bought train tickets. I'm just waiting for, because there's no way he's going to do it unless he's like legally obligated to do it. In case, I don't know whether or not if you hire the Royal Albert Hall, you say like, I'm going to hire the Royal Albert Hall, and I promise to give you
Yeah.
£500,000, £20,000, whatever it is. I don't know what it is.
He might have to pay for the gigs not being on, because
there is
could
a
have put other people on.
Absolutely, but there is a contractual thing called force majeure, which is like act of God type of situation. This isn't
I
an
don't
act
think
of
this
God.
would fall under that.
No, but it's an unforeseen circumstance, isn't it? And I suspect that might. I don't know. I don't know what the legal ramifications are. I don't know what.
Is this unforeseen though?
Well, no, it's not, because he's known about it. He's done it. Yeah. So I don't know. Who knows? But there's another part of his. There's another part of his gig which is like you could spend. So my ticket was £70 to go and see him at the Royal Albert Hall. Big bucks, and I spent £45 on his vinyl for his album. which has all come out of HSBC's overdraft policy. Thank you very much. And he had another thing which you could do, which was like £150, and you can go to the Ryan Adams exclusive pinball arena and like hang out and play pinball games and get some signed shit and all of that kind of schnizzle. But how do you
harassment?
Yeah. And also, yeah. So anyway, there you go, Ryan Adams.
It's tricky because the gig might get picketed.
Yes.
And that would create a furore and make it difficult.
It wouldn't be fun to go to that gig, and if people were outside saying, "Yeah, you shouldn't support this kind of person."
Yeah, as they do at Louis C.K.'s gigs at the moment.
Oh, do they? Okay.
I'm on the fan groups, and obviously loads of people bought tickets for this gig, and loads of people a couple of people are saying if they go, they're gonna go into it and protest it in the gig. Well, I'm in two minds about the whole thing. I kind of I don't want to go because of what he's done, but also I kind of want to go because I really like his music. But it's very.
Well, this opens up a big old question, doesn't it?
Can you distinguish the difference between the art and the person?
I think you've got to a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
There's going to be a documentary about Michael Jackson coming out soon.
I still listen to Michael Jackson songs. I fucking love.
Yeah, that's the classic test case, isn't it? Because that documentary.
I still listen to Gary Glitter.
I'm still in the Gary Glitter fan club, Dave. With you.
But that documentary puts, as far as I know, a really compelling case. It's like two boys that he abused, and it's them as adults. They're not making any money from it, and apparently I've read a review of it, and apparently it puts forward a very compelling case that I think at this stage most people believe that he probably did some very, very bad things to kids.
Yes.
And enough stuff has come out, enough different people at different times corroborating same kinds of behaviors, aspects of the stories and stuff like that.
It's a real hot potato because you've got R. Kelly on the other hand, and everyone's saying mute R. Kelly. His is an ongoing situation where he's, gaslighting these women and getting them locked up in his little sex dungeons. But
what does gaslighting
mean? It means creating a situation where you sort of lie to somebody about their world and they don't really know it, and you
so you kind of fuck with their head.
So telling them that mirrors don't exist. So
yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Makes them think they're going nuts.
Right. Okay.
And that you would say Michael Jackson is probably, objectively speaking, he's committed far more heinous crimes than R. Kelly, but there's a bigger movement to not listen to R. Kelly's music, perhaps because Michael Jackson's music is better, and ultimately people like listening to stuff and don't care what people did.
But Off the Wall's so good.
It is really good.
So that's a tricky one there with Ryan Adams. What category is he going to fall under? Is the music good enough that people will overlook the misdemeanors?
The bad times. Well, so that we don't end on a horrible bad time, Joe, what was the thing that you were talking about before we came on? You were talking about some hypothetical.
Oh yeah, so I was just going to throw out a scenario, and then we have to collectively try and see how we would achieve the goal of this scenario. So, for example, if the goal was to get a #1 single, what is the most realistic way you could go about getting a #1 single, or we could go about getting a #1 single? Go.
I think it's obvious.
Bring back Michael Jackson from the dead.
Commit some crimes.
Yeah.
Gain a bit of notoriety. No, I think what you'd have to do, like the Christmas #1, it was a cover of "We Built This City" by Starship Troopers. Something about a Greg sausage roll, and it was a charity single, and it was created by some people, just regular Joes. That's what we'd have to do. It'd have to be a charity single.
By the way, that's
what do you feel about
that?
Joe?
Sorry, extraordinary Joes created this single. That's how you do it, I think.
Charity single cover?
Charity single cover.
What would the song be that we would cover?
And what would the charity be? I think you've got to link them in.
I think
Really?
it's got to be an Ed Sheeran song, straight off the bat.
What's the one that he covered?
Oh, what about for obesity? And we could cover Shape of You.
Perfect.
Would that do it?
Yeah, what are his other big songs?
Well, what's the one that
Sing.
he stole from all those other people?
Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah, let's rehash that.
For Tourette's.
Yes. So that's our route in, right? Ed Sheeran, huge songs. Tourette's, it's a spicy issue.
Yeah.
very, very
Charity.
spicy.
That would be the best T-shirt. Tourette's. It's a spicy issue.
Charitable acts.
It's good that
and
you're already
Christmas.
thinking about the merch.
Yeah. I like
That's
it.
my proposition, but Dave, maybe you have a different way of us getting Christmas #1.
Doesn't have to be
No.
Christmas. I mean,
Exactly what I was
you've
thinking.
really built that in yourself. But yeah, any time of year.
If I'm gonna get a #1, it's gonna be Christmas. Go big, or don't go.
Don't go
Yeah.
at all.
We'll
Russell
go at
Garvey.
another time.
Yeah, or
When
go
it's
later,
quiet.
a later
Yeah.
date.
Yeah.
When it's quiet.
What about, like,
Go
January?
big or go when it's more convenient,
Yeah.
and you can access everything you require in a shorter, more efficient time.
Yeah, I mean that's the saying that I live
Or
by.
don't go at all if you don't need the thing.
Yeah,
Really,
or just get someone else to go for
don't
you.
always
If
go
they-
big.
If
That's
someone
quite-
else is going anyway and they can pick it up for you, get someone else
Yeah.
to go.
Go along.
I'll be
for
honest. If you were somebody who said I go big every time, I would just think, can't deal with that, mate. You need some balance in your life. Go big, go small, go medium.
Go whatever you feel. Yeah,
Go however you feel.
Go-
Whatever size.
just vibe it. Yeah,
These
vibe
all
it.
feel like great T-shirts.
Go big.
Go small. Go medium. Go wherever you like. Nike.
Just-
For Tourette's.
and that would perfectly fit with shoe size as well. I know
I,
shoes have got numbers.
I like go
size.
big.
it could be the rebranding of their shoe sizes, just 3
Yeah.
sizes:
Yeah.
big, small, medium. You either got to have these big floppy shoes. The shoes fit you, or they're too small.
Yeah. I'm size 9. We only do size 15, I'm sorry. Or size 1. Or size 7. So,
Yeah.
unlucky for you.
Are you going to go
It's
big
either a
or are you going to go
big-
home?
You either go big and you got 4 sizes too much, or you go small and you
Come on.
try and stretch that 7 out into a 9 in over 6 months.
Or
We
you
should-
go home without shoes?
We should get hold of Nike. That's gonna. Well,
Well, they haven't had a big,
No.
like Nike and Reebok. Like Nike had Just Do It, Reebok had Pump It Up. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like the slogan is,
dying.
it's dying a death. Yeah, No Fear had No Fear.
Brilliant.
That was a good
Great
one.
slogan from them.
Yeah, One Life, No Fear. Yeah.
Budweiser, what did they have?
That's genius, isn't it? How good is Wazza?
I did that. I did that today
Did
to
you?
someone. I had a meeting today on Skype, and none of the other important people had come yet. It was just me and one other person. I thought, I'll bring it back. I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And do you know what she said to me? She's 30.
Yeah.
She laughed and she said, my dad does that. And I'm like, cool.
Oh,
Cool.
Fuck you.
Yeah. She was like, it's great. My dad does it. I was like,
My
oh,
dad
that's
You
loves
may as well
that.
have referenced a Werther's Originals advert or some smoky cigars.
I don't care. I'm sticking with it. I think it's gonna come back. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I like it.
It's
have
fun,
we-
undeniably.
It
what
is
have
fun.
we
Yeah.
learned, gentlemen, tonight?
We've learned how to get a Christmas #1.
Yeah, we learned about Mr. What did we learn about? Sick in the dreads.
Mick Hucknall facts, yeah.
Yeah, Mick Hucknall
Yeah.
facts. That'd be
We've
bad.
learned how to deal with adult bullying.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know if we really resolved it. Did we? We just accepted
Yeah,
it.
no,
going.
we
How
did. We did.
We run away.
We run away. No, we bully people lower down. That's what we learned.
Yeah,
Okay.
what
Pass
we
the
punch
bullying
Down,
down
that's the
the,
thing, isn't it?
hierarchy.
You always punch down.
Yeah. punch
Always, because they're smaller.
the smaller.
Yes.
It's so
It's easier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Weight of gravity on the blows aids to damage also. and we've learned about Paul McCartney. He's a bit of an anachronism when it comes to whiskey purchasing, but not an anachronism when it comes to being a legend in Blue Peter world.
Yeah, £10. You could be equal to Maggot. Yeah, Macca's.
I have the last remaining copy. Of
I got it as well.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Last remaining copy.
Sorry, Dave.
This is yours. This is yours. I got it from your house.
Nice. What happened to that jacket?
We've also learned.
Oh yeah, it's a jacket. Still
Sorry,
exists.
Russell.
Joe, have you still got this jacket?
What happened to it?
It's not my jacket. It was Ollie's jacket.
It was.
I wore it sometimes.
Jacket, come on.
It was Ollie got it from a charity shop. It was a Tammy Girl jacket.
Of course it was.
And I don't think he's still got it. I think it's in a Hard Rock cafe somewhere.
Yeah, I would imagine. 2004, El Majestico.
Stuffed down a toilet. We've also learned that the best time that you can have is when Joe isn't there.
And that's the best time I can also have.
Yeah, I did a snot.
My favourite times are when I'm not present. Yeah. To be honest, I ruin things. It's I just like people to tell me about good things that have happened, and then I think, that sounds great. It would have been worse if I was there. I'm so glad I wasn't there. I would have ruined.
I would have wrecked that.
I would have brought that down 3 notches.
Yeah.
Oh
boy. Good. Well, that's. I think that's wrapped up. That's content.
We've wrapped up. That's content. That's an hour. Yeah. That's Slapback Chat Frat. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We will join you again at some increment of time in the future. This has been Slapback Chat Frat. Mr. Joseph Butterball, goodbye. Mr. Dave White, goodbye. Mr. Russell Garnett, goodbye.
Can I be Russell Garbage? Goodbye. Bye.
Russell Garbage, yeah. Slapback Chat Frat.